Hello and welcome to 35 Plus Where to Shop, our weekly retailer review where every week we check out our favourite brands and designers and retailers based on style, personality, colour palette, dress code and also body shape too. So, look, thank you again to everyone who has downloaded. We've had well over 1,000 women take the style personality quiz with some interesting results actually. So definitely ahead, we have our relaxed naturals, but the classics are definitely closing in, closely followed by our elegance. And then our feminines and creatives are vying very much for fourth spot. We're not seeing many rebellious or sultries coming through, but as one cheeky Style Liberation or 35 Plus member pointed out, maybe the rebellious are rebelling by not filling out the quiz, which is quite possible too. So anyway, if you haven't had a chance to do the quiz yet, do jump on and take it. And just remember, we're just showing one style personality, and you're usually a combination of 2 to 3. Maybe one for work, one for play, one for whatever else you're into. That's where I think the sultry usually comes in. And we just show you the dominant one, so the one that maybe is underlying or underpinning the rest of your style. So anyway, take a look and let us know your result. We love finding out what each and every person is. So let's dive in and take a look at who we're looking at today, and that is Wittner. Now, Wittner started back in 1912 as one standalone store in Melbourne, and now they have over 100 stores across Australia and New Zealand. They also sell online, and they have concessions in David Jones as well. They employ over 500 people across Australia and New Zealand. So they really focus on great quality leather shoes. And if I was to describe the overall vibe, I would say modern classic style is very much what they're going for. So therefore, style personality wise, we're looking at more of your naturals, your classics, and also your creatives, because that's the thing I do notice with Wittner, is they do change up the style a little bit. So it does mean that you get sort of a little bit of a twist to your, I guess, modern classic there too. In terms of colour palette, they do very much cater for all colour palettes. I think they're really great at neutrals and all different shades of neutrals. What I mean by neutrals are those core colours. We call them core colours because if you choose any other colour from your colour palette, you'll be able to mix and match with it. So think black, navy, grey, your deep browns or any of the brown range, any of the grey range, also your beiges, your blush colours, your taupes and your stones, any of those sort of colours, both warm and cool neutrals, they have it covered. In terms of body shape, they're shoes, so we're not so worried about that. Fit-wise, they do go from narrow to slightly wider, but they do tend to be that sort of fit through there. Sizing, you're looking at a size 4.5 up to a 10.5 Australian. When it comes to pricing, and I've just realised that it hasn't updated here, so apologies for that. So flats do actually start from $90. Your heels from $160, not $90 there. And boots, we all wish they started leather boots at $25, but they actually start at $180. They do have a fantastic sale on at the moment for boots, so you'll see some of that in the favourites come up. In terms of delivery, they are available online. They do have stores across Australia and New Zealand, and there is free delivery for orders over $130. Otherwise, it's an $8 flat delivery fee for under $130. They also have international delivery and 30-day returns from date of purchase there too. So before we get into my favourites, I just wanted to remind you, if you haven't already, pop and click the link to have a go at our style personality quiz and find out your dominant style personality. It does ask you to enter your email, and that's because we want to share a little bit more information about your style personality and get a downloadable postcard that you can take with you and have it in your bag, so that when you are assessing a piece, you're working out whether it's going to be right for you. And also so we can tell you a little bit more about your multiple personalities, and that's absolutely fine to do that too. So let me show you some of our favourites. So the shoes that I've chosen to share with you today are all quite neutral. And you'll see that they'll come in various colours as well. And look, the reason I've chosen these is because one of the questions that I get asked time and time again is around because Christy and I are huge on wearing navy as a core colour within your wardrobe, or even grey as an alternative to black. And one of the questions we get, well, what colour shoes do we wear with that? Because we often, default to black in terms of shoes. So what we say is finding your neutral. Now, your neutral will vary depending on the depth of your skin tone. So it will go anywhere from, a cream or a blush or a stone through to those mid-tans, and then through to those deep mahogany browns, and also black too. So it's just bearing in mind that neutrals will be different depending on the depth of your skin tone there too. So I just wanted to show some that will work really well with navy. And look, you can wear black shoes with a really deep navy. However, we do believe there's more interesting shoes that you can wear that then also work better with other colours that you might want to wear as well. So now that I've got that out of the way, the first up we have is the Miley Cosmetics leather pointed toe flat. It is in a beige leather, and it also comes in black as well. It's $170. It is a really great neutral, the beige colour for anyone with fair to medium skin tone. And then I would go with the black for anyone with medium to deeper skin tone there. What I also quite like about this shoe is because it's got that low vamp and a pointed toe, and it's also pointed through the vamp, is a lot of questions I get from people are around, well, I can't wear heels, or they're not comfortable, or I prefer not to wear heels, but then what do I wear with skirts and dresses? And people tend to then avoid skirts and dresses because they feel like they need to wear them with a heel. The thing to remember is to create length through the leg, and that's what a heel does. It makes the leg look longer and leaner. And to achieve the same look without wearing a heel, it's about choosing a shoe that is in a neutral colour, so similar skin depth to what you have. So that's one thing. And then the second thing is, doesn't necessarily have to be as pointy as this, but it needs to have a little bit of tapering so that it creates that longer line. So it makes it look like the leg is longer. Whereas if you go for a square or a very round blunt heel, then what that does is actually make the leg appear shorter and the foot appear shorter too. So that's just my top tip in relation to choosing shoes, especially flat shoes, if you want to wear it with skirts and dresses. So this particular shoe, the Miley, we're looking at a classic, natural and also elegant style personality. Colour palette wise, it's neutral, so it will work for all colour palettes. Body shape, obviously all. And then dress code, you're looking at smart casual to smart business. Unless you're a classic or an elegant, you may also do this for casual as well, but I find it is a little bit dressy for your natural, so more of a smart casual to smart business too. So that is the Miley. Next up, I couldn't go past doing some sort of animal or reptile print as per usual. So this is the Javier Ecru sliced snake leather snib toe block heel. And what we mean by snib toe, it's almost like it was a point, and then we've just taken that little point off and made it a little bit square at the front. So it's still tapered, so it still creates that length through the front there. I love it. It's $200. I love it because it's got a great block heel. And as someone who does enjoy wearing a heel but is finding it a little bit trickier to keep my balance in stilettos, a block heel is fantastic and much more comfortable. Also, this is quite a neutral snake print. So it is slightly on the warmer side, but because it is not near your face, it will work really well with any of those cool neutrals and will make it look a little bit edgy. So style personality wise, you're looking at more your sultry, creative, dramatic, and also rebellious here. I would say it's quite a neutral tone, so colour palette wise you could cut across both, but slightly on the warmer side. And then dress code, smart casual again to bar wear / cocktail. So a great bar wear option there. Next up we have the Banks Sage patent leather loafer, and I love patent leather. Again, a little bit addicted to anything that has a little bit of a shine or a sheen or a sparkle to it. I love this because we've got them in these beautiful sort of pastel colours. So this is sage patent. It's almost like a minty colour, and it comes in a pink and also a deeper sort of stone, warm stone beige colour too. So this is $170. It is a flat. You can see again, it's got a rounded toe, but still it's got that little bit of tapering. So if the point is too pointy for you and feels like it's squishing your toes a little bit, this is a better rounded shape through that. Because of the colorways that this is available in, I would say style personality wise, you're looking feminine, classic, elegant, creative, and also natural. Dress code, you're looking casual to smart business as well. Now, here's an obvious choice. This is the Delina Oxford Blue Napa Leather Pointed Toe Block Heel. Now, this is an obvious choice in relation to picking something to go with a navy base. So it comes in a navy leather, but it also comes in your black, your stones, a blush, animal print reds, deep chocolate brown, which is a great neutral as well for those, even all skin tones actually that will work for, and also your sage as well. So this is particularly a great work shoe and very classic and elegant. And then last but not least, I am a huge, huge fan of a grey shoe. And any of the consultations that I do with clients, whether it's in terms of doing a colour session or doing someone's wardrobe or shopping with them, if they do have a cooler colour palette, I do recommend going for a grey shoe or boot. So this is the Gilmore Grey Stone Suede Elasticized Gusset Chelsea Ankle Boot. I like that they've got lots of descriptions here. So it was $230 and they're down now to $90. So it's definitely worth looking at the sale items on this fitness site because they have up to 60% off. This one's actually 61% off. The reason I'm a big fan of grey is I find a lot of cool wardrobes, the core colours that people tend to choose are black if they're a cool and clear, charcoal if they're cool muted, and then in the navies they're greys and the range of greys through there. Why I love a grey shoe is it means it works with your navy, and then obviously when you start out on this journey there's probably a little bit more black in your wardrobe than what there should be. So it means you can still continue to wear your black base pieces without having to change everything else up. So a grey shoe is great because it's very versatile and really helps you create that capsule wardrobe there. So in terms of this particular boot, I would say it's quite natural because we've got that sort of wooden base to it. Creative as well, would work really well for any cool colour palettes. And I would say it's casual to smart casual here. So these are just some of my favourites. So now is definitely a good time to check out Wittner because they have a brilliant sale on at the moment, especially for boots. And I know for anywhere other than probably Canberra and Victoria at the moment, you're probably starting to gear up for some warmer weather. However, we find that we can often wear boots right up until probably December sometimes. So it's definitely worth still investing in some boots for the rest of this season, plus also for next season as well, especially grey ones. I know that we keep harping on about style personality, but we know what a difference it can make in relation to creating a wardrobe full of items that you love. You know, we have lots of clients that, you know, once they actually realise or understand why they choose particular items, it makes the focus so much clearer in terms of what they need to look at and what they bring into their wardrobe, and they make so many less mistakes. So definitely click the link to take the quiz and let us know your results. Thanks so much for joining me. We will be back next week for our next retail review. Take care.